Welcome in alongside our insider, John Rothstein. I'm Brent Silver. Moments away from San Diego State taking out Boise State. Wichita State, no issue there. Good bounce-back win for Greg Marshall and his guys drilling Tulane at home, 82-56. But the Aztecs, ranked number 4, remain unbeaten. This could be a test against a Boise State team, John, that's 9-5 in the Mountain West.
And Boise State has a weapon to go over the top of the defense in Justinian Jessup. San Diego State is going to get everybody's best shot. And Brent, you look at the chemical makeup of the Mountain West Conference. This could be a preview of the Mountain West Conference tournament title game in a couple of weeks in Las Vegas.
Malachi Flynn, 16 points, 5 assists per game.
Second-team All-American right now on my log, and he is rising by the game. He does a great job of dominating the game without demanding shots.
Is this the day the Aztecs get clipped, or do they remain unbeaten and roll to another game?
Remain unbeaten, another step towards perfection, and the show will see a show in Boise. That much is guaranteed.
Enjoy the game. We'll see you back here at halftime.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is presented by 5-Hour Energy. This is Extra Mile Arena on the Boise State campus. It's a whiteout today. A big crowd on hand for Mountain West College basketball. Number 4 San Diego State at 25-0, the nation's only undefeated team visiting the Broncos. What a year for the Aztecs. A school's Mountain West record start. 14-0 in league play. Now regular season conference champs. The top seed already in the upcoming league tournament in Vegas. Lineups today. Aztecs feature one of the most versatile athletic big men you'll ever see. Vanderbilt transfer Yanni Wetzel leads the Mountain West in field goal percentage. Boise State's Derrick Alston Jr. can line up any team, anytime, long and athletic. Third in the Mountain West in points per game, 18.4. Brian Dutcher told us this week, now that the regular season title's in the bag, he's told his Aztecs, let's get greedy and run the table. Be the first ever perfect regular season in school history. Leon Rice likes this team. He tells us leadership, sharing the ball for good shot selection today will be a big key to ending the Aztecs' run at perfection. It's Dave Ryan courtside with Steve Wolf, former star at Xavier. Also joined by Heather Cox throughout the broadcast. It's a whiteout. Leon Rice looks the part. Wolfie, what an atmosphere here in Boise today.
Yeah, he's dressed all in white, looks like a sailor, but he's ready to have this upset as you check conference games. Both these teams, something's got to give.
Something's got to give today. Aztecs haven't won in this building since 2016. Got blasted here a year ago. And the home whites. Boise State first possession of the half court.
Now it's important for Boise to get up early because they were down very quickly on the road against the Aztecs earlier this year.
All-time Mountain West three-point king Justinian Jessup got 304 triples. Out of bounds to the Aztecs.
That's what San Diego State does. They're really good defensively. They've always been good defensively. And they have a lot of steals in the lane. You have to protect the ball when you get inside that three-point arc.
The grad transfer, KJ Fagan, runs the show offensively for San Diego State. Really tough shot. And Malachi Flynn, 0 for 1 so far. Jessup thinking deep shot, back iron miss. He can handle the rebound. And it comes to Shackle instead. Here's Flynn, leading candidate for Mountain West and maybe National Player of the Year.
I agree with you there. He runs this team. I think Coach Dutch knew that he was a great scorer coming from Washington State, but didn't realize he could facilitate so well.
Flynn, long range shot. There's a three and the first points of the afternoon.
It's so hard to guard him, and that's what I think the Broncos are going to have to do it by committee. Know when he's in the lane and give a hand's worth of help.
Wetzel some help. Alston Jr. Front iron miss. Flynn the rebound. Alston Jr. has the Greek freak shoes today. I love the look. Shackle the handle. Here's Wetzel. Vandy transfer in the back end on Williams. And it's turned over.
Quick hands by R.J. Williams in the lane. He's given up a lot of size, so he's got to use quickness to really get Yanni out of that lane.
Jessup thought about a three. Long shot rattles out somehow for Ray J. Dennis, the freshman. Was double figures 3 times this year. And it keeps the lid on the hoop so far for Boise State. Look at the quickness of Flynn on the handoff. Jackal thinking long-range shot, back iron miss. Wetzel hand on it, comes to Alston Jr. Playing in front of his dad for the first time since high school. We'll tell you that story today with Heather.
Well, right now, Boise State has to get to the basket. They're settling for outside jump shots, and I love that play.
Alston Jr., the pass to himself off the basket and in. A spectacular first basket for Boise State.
That's a smart play because he saw nobody in front of him. After the initial defender just used the backboard as another player on the team.
Oh my. Wetzel on Williams. Under 10 to shoot. Here's the back end. We told you he's quick. Look at the moves. Look at the speed for Yanni Wetzel. That's with the left.
How about Yanni Wetzel? He played at Vanderbilt, lost 20 games back-to-back years when he was there. Now they're 25-0. He only started 10 games last year in his whole career at Vanderbilt. Starting one of the top scorers, averaging 12 points a game.
Alston Jr. making it look easy there, Wolfie. Big defensive breakdown for the Aztecs. One of the best defensive teams in the nation, tops of the Mountain West, and just about every major team stat you'd want. A key reason they're 25-0. And another reason is this guy, Malachi Flynn. Quiets the crowd. I mean, you can hear a pin drop now after the back-to-back hoops in spectacular fashion by Alston Jr.
Well, when we talk about guarding Malachi Flynn, it's just so hard because he can shoot the three. So you have to stay up on him, and then he goes around you.
Kijab, big block after he lost the rock in the offensive end. Abu Kijab, the transfer from Oregon.
Boise State trying to get the ball inside. This is the easiest way. It's a perfect pass.
To himself. What a play. Steve Wolf, that was awesome.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by 5-Hour Energy Shots. Now in 2 great tropical flavors. By Jeep, there's only one. And by AT&T.
Beautiful Boise, nothing like it. Underway, number 4 San Diego State trying to go 26-0. Welcome back to Boise. Dave Ryan, Steve Wolf, former star captain, and Xavier joined throughout the broadcast by Heather Cox as well. Everybody in college basketball, Wolfie, wants to know one thing. Can these Aztecs run the table or what?
I'll tell you what, when they play at places like Boise State, this crowd is electrifying, and then they have to go to Nevada. They have to take care of one game at a time, and right now, they're going to be in a battle today.
On Tuesday, clinched the Mountain West title with a win over New Mexico. A spectacular second half. Matt Mitchell, 22 points, 12 rebounds, first double-double, scored his 1,000th career point, and yeah, it was celebration time. Mountain West Commissioner Craig Thompson there, Brian Dutcher there, and the locker room Gatorade bath as well. All-time 7 regular season titles now for San Diego State, make it 12 overall, including their 5 tournament titles. And they've got the top seed for Vegas next month already sewn up.
And they've clinched it so early on. And so Coach Dutcher has really been smart in saying after we won the first goal, which is the banner, he said the next thing is to go undefeated. And that's just a tough task. But this team is so balanced. They've always been good defensively, and now they're picking up on the offensive end.
Good roll, KJ Fagan. Robin George, redshirt senior from Germany, in for the first time. Here's Jessup. There's a three. Number 305 as he expands on his Mountain West all-time three-pointer record.
He's going to have a good game because when he shoots the ball well, it really spreads out the defense for the opposition. And they have Yanni Wetzel guarding him. You know, it's 6'10" on 6'6". That's a big differential, too.
Nice help by Jessup. Alex Hobbs, senior guard, into the game as well for Boise State.
You'll see the switch right there. George going down low. Jessup gets that off quick enough. Yanni Wetzel's not able to defend it on the perimeter.
18 points, home win Tuesday for Air Force. Sluggish first half, a great second half for Boise State. Jackal thinking long-range shot. Short. Hobbs finds a loose change on the baseline for the Broncos. Former Mountain West 6th man of the year. And playing a key role again for Leon Rice and Boise State this season.
It's going to be important for Hobbs with his leadership to have a good game. He's more like a junk ball pitcher. He can do a little bit of everything, and he plays really well against good teams. It's hard to guard.
Here's George. Sets up with a left. Can't finish this time. And Mitchell on the rebound. He's a JYD, right? Junkyard dog. Does it all for San Diego State. What a player for the Aztecs. We saw him pregame. He was pumped up. He said, yeah, we're going to try to run the table. Of course we are.
He's a guy that started for 2 years, gave up that starting position, and now he's, because of Mensah's being out, he is playing very well.
Wetzel, athletic, but can't finish this time. Defensive glass for Hobbs. He's on the move for Boise State. Way off the mark to the left. There's Flynn. And you know San Diego State will rebound and run out whenever they can. Mitchell transition. Back iron this on 3. Alston Jr. will rebound himself. You talk about long and athletic. Watch this guy move. A lot of talent.
He's got to get into the basket and try to finish at the rim.
George, help, Mitchell, steal. Outlet, Flynn for 2.
San Diego State's putting up a lot of numbers. When you don't know how San Diego State plays, I think you think, well, they outscore the opponents. They are a solid defensive team. They defend probably better than they score.
Aztecs have set every possible program record with this tremendous 25-0 start. And trying to keep it going now. The Mountain West title is clinched. We talked about it. They're confident they can do it. Jessup got free. It's a 2. This time for Justinian Jessup. Does not need much room, Wolfie, to release that left-handed shot.
And he's such a quick release.
Jackal for Fagan. The Santa Clara transfer had a great career for that program. Scored 1,400 career points. Fagan in the corner. That's a deep corner 3. Watch out! Buries the triple. Almost out of bounds. KJ Fagan.
When you talk about balance, any one of these guys offensively can hurt you. I mean, Fagan is really their best defensive on-the-ball player, but he can knock down that 3-ball too.
Hobbs mismatched Wetzel in terms of quickness there for Boise State. George took a red shirt, and he's back as a senior. Ray J. Dennis, too strong from 17. And Matt Mitchell, the rebound for San Diego State.
Boise's got to try to penetrate that lane and get some contact, a little physical with San Diego State on the offensive end.
Fagan out this time. George. Offensive glass, Boise State, Justinian Jessup. We'll try to get it set up for Alston Jr. Had a very slow first half Tuesday home win over Air Force, then turned it on in the second. Boise State pulled away. Runner with a right on the baseline, too strong. Shackle. Flynn trying to stay in bounds right in front of the Boise bench. Look at this matchup. Flynn, Alston Jr. to the rack. Dishes Wetzel with the finish. What a pass.
That is what Coach Dutcher didn't know he was getting. That is a beautiful drive and kick. Now, a real scorer can take it straight to the basket, but a real point guard distributes and facilitates to the big guy. I think it's why Yanni, who, you know, we said only averaged 6 points a game last year. Vanderbilt's averaging 12 now for a top 5 team.
Hobbs tries the pocket pass to George. Broken up tennis shoot here for Boise State. Jessup, Hobbs, he'll drive the paint, float, and get a roll.
Junkyard dog, doing what it takes. That's experience. Previous 6th man of the year, like you said, Rhino, comes in and gives them energy.
All Mountain West, honorable mention last year for the Broncos. Had an off season, no postseason last year. They're definitely going to be playing in March this season. 9-5, chasing the Aztecs in the Mountain West. As is everyone. Mitchell back in, uses the body, uses the strength. And it's off the glass and in.
He's just so very hard to stop. He is built very strong like a Charles Barkley, and he's able to get inside and release that ball with contact.
We saw him pregame during warm-ups. He was working up a sweat, wasn't he? He was working hard getting ready for this one today. And there's the pick right on cue for Mitchell. Numbers, Aztecs. Matt Mitchell. Euro step off the glass with a left. That's how you finish a fast break, and Leon Rice says timeout, Boise State.
Right now, San Diego State trying to remain unbeaten. Player, so they're going to be moving to 5 after this week.
Let's go to Heather Cox.
Mentioned, guys, as you mentioned on Tuesday when San Diego State clinched that Mountain West championship, the nets were cut, the trophy was lifted, but then Coach Dutcher immediately gathered his team and said, guys, all that, it's in the past. And then he preached, I need you guys to be greedy. We have to finish by winning these next 4. Now that starts obviously right now. The Aztecs believe that in order to avoid a letdown, defense is key. They live by the motto, defense travels, which they'll need. The Broncos are dangerous here. 12-1 at home this season, and the Aztecs have lost their last 3 games in this building. Coach Dutcher's final words to his team, no letdown, no complacency. We need the ultimate focus. Dave?
Well, Heather, this is Steve, but to your point, so far, the steals, 3 steals for San Diego State. They've been able to get the ball out in transition, and you can just tell their defense is elite, and their offense is starting to catch up with it.
Brian Dutcher told us this week, Wolf, in our chat with the San Diego State head coach, look, we've had great defensive teams, hung our hat on defense and rebounding for years here under Steve Fisher and now Brian Dutcher, but offensively we caught up. This is as balanced a team as he's ever been around, and that goes back to the '89 national champs in Ann Arbor as he helped Michigan win the national championship with Steve Fisher.
You know, it's interesting about their offense. Their defense has always been good, but their offense, as you said, is catching up. They have the assistant coach from Boise came over and is running their offense this acre, so it's maybe he stole a good one there.
A rope, and Adam Seiko, Trey Pulliam, a lot of bench time. We'll see with these guys today. The misfire there from Seiko, the redshirt sophomore from Boston. Dickinson hits a 3. Marcus Dickinson, the senior from Norman, Oklahoma, gets involved for Boise State. A much-needed triple for the Broncos.
Well, Dickinson sat out a little bit because of a hip or a thigh injury, and they put Williams back, or Ray J. Dennis in, and then Dickinson has been playing better off the bench, really able to give him a spark when he comes in.
Tell me what Matt Mitchell cannot do, Steve Wolf. And there's a 3. It's his 35th triple of the season as he's lighting up Boise State in every category so far in this game today.
He's a kid that lost 25 pounds in the offseason. You know, he does it all for him.
Fun to watch. Jessup thinking about another triple. You bet. His second 3-ball, and that was deep beyond the long line for Justinian Jessup. And the crowd responds. The whiteout here in Boise. Pulliam, the junior. Skip past Mitchell. It's our first foul of the game. When was the last time he went to the 8-minute media timeout without a foul? Mitchell and Jessup, who just committed that foul a moment ago, hitting from long range today in Boise. The senior guard, Longmont, Colorado, Justinian Jessup has 306 career threes, #1 all-time in Mountain West history. He caught this guy, Jimmer Fredette, who played at BYU when they were in the Mountain West from 07 to 2011, 139 games, hit 296 triples, which was the record until Tuesday night on February 4th when Boise State Justinian Jessup smashed it. Sam Merrill up to 297 has now passed Jimmer for second place.
Well, you move the line back and all these guys are passing. Jimmer may have been lobbying for that.
BYU West Coast Conference now for basketball. But those are some great years when Jimmer's in the Mountain West. Man, he had some range.
Well, Jessup now is in sole possession of ninth place in the all-time scoring list, passing former teammate Chandler Hutchinson. Right close to getting them past Roberto Bergeson. And this is a guy who's could get into the top 5 this year.
Earned 1,500 career points at Boise State. Great career, no question. Fagan and Wetzel set the half court. Donnie Wetzel double team. Kick out for Pulliam. Seiko, 3 to shoot. He'll drive the paint. He'll float and rattles it in. Adam Seiko's first 2.
This is such a well-balanced team. You take everybody out of the game, except Seiko. He just dribble drive to the basket. Has a little runner in the lane. This is a very good team, top to bottom, both offensive and defensively.
Max Rice, son of head coach Leon Rice, in for the first time, redshirt freshman. 3 double-figure games after a tremendous high school career here in Boise. All-state multiple times. Coach Rice told us yesterday what a thrill it is to be able to be with his son every day after missing most of his high school games. Kijab gets involved, and he's such an important aspect to the Boise State attack, the Oregon transfer.
He really is. He's their energy. He's sat out 12 games. He was hurt with a hip pointer, but now he gives them a lot of energy when he's in that game.
Pulliam works for a rope. Lost the handle. Loose change, Alston Jr.
The defense by Rice, getting the hand in the lane.
To the lane. Can't spin it in. A rope, no rebound. Kagan, the run out. Seiko thought about a 3. Wetzel's got that kind of range. Tough pass to catch Kagan. Let's fly. Rattles out a 3. And Williams coming off a double-double here Tuesday against Air Force has the rebound. Let's go back to Heather.
Well, Dave, that last Boise State timeout was all about defense, considering they're allowing the Aztecs to shoot 58% from the field. Coach Rice said, we need more effort, load it to the ball. We've got to get in transition. And then this was really interesting. He said, we need to help. It must look like we have 6 people out there. We're not going to win guarding them one-on-one. If it looks like 6 people are on the floor, we've got a chance.
Third field goal, Steve, of the first half for Alston Jr.
Well, Heather, what happened in the one time down when Yanni Wetzel got the ball, they did double out and extended that shot clock. So it was really, really hard for the Aztecs to score. So they are now getting that 6th man into the game.
Broncos have made 4 of their last 5 from the field. Wetzel trying to flip the script, does with the left. I love the right-left versatility. Runs the floor, blocks shots, does it all for San Diego State.
If you didn't know he was right-handed, when you watch film, he looks like he's left-handed. He shoots as many shots from the opposite hand, but that time there was no help down on him. They got to help in the lane, and they could resist him at the rim.
Kijab, the drive, kick out, Alston Jr., 8 to shoot. Down to 5. Dickinson thinking 3, but iron miss. Here's Williams, the lefty, second crack at it, and earns a trip to the free throw line.
Well, Alston, he's got to go straight to that rim, and you'll see he's got to finish. The other time before he went away from contact, but Yanni gets down and low. You got to help out. That time, Dickinson's a little bit late to give a hand's worth of help.
We have a San Diego State foul sight. First one of our game today. A miss. One more for Williams coming up. And coming up next, switch over to Major League Rugby as the NOLA Gold battles Rugby ATL only on CBS Sports Network. Can't wait. Coming up next.
You know, Dutch talked about with us about the fouling. He said, we're a good defensive team. We usually don't have problems with fouls, but you will see him, if somebody gets a foul early in the second half and they get 3, he'll let them play. He trusts his guys, too. Feels like these guys have good chemistry.
16-12 the other night for Williams, head-to-head with Air Force, and most of his free throws went in. Not that trip, though, for 2. All 8 of his double-doubles have come this year for Boise State. Williams overplay, looking for the steal. Wetzel recovers. In the corner, Shackle. I mean, the deep corner 3s for San Diego State, the range these guys have, exceptional.
And Shackle has been really shooting the ball well. The last 5 games, averaging over 11 points.
His 55th 3 of the year. That is now number 1 on the San Diego State roster. And back and forth with Malachi Flynn. 10 to shoot, Boise State. R.J. Williams, the southpaw back in. Look at the help from Flynn. Tie up. Possession arrow goes the other way. When we return to Boise, it's Aztec ball.
Jordan Shackle, an important piece to the puzzle, but the ball movement gets him open. He drops a dime from 3, giving them a 9-point lead on the road.
Coming up on AT&T at the half, Brent Stover, John Rothstein standing by in our New York studio. Get you up to speed on all the day's college basketball action. There are 4 top 25 games, including the 4th-ranked Aztecs here today in Boise. All coming up on AT&T at the half. We'll feed today's Golden Corral teams hungry for a big. Let's start with Rutgers from the Big Ten.
I like Rutgers. I think they're having obviously a record year for the last 10 years since Coach Rice was there. Indiana lost today. I like the Rhode Island Rams. Dave Cox got those guys going. He's got that Langevin, who's a real player. We'll see what he can do.
Let's go back to Heather Cox.
All right, Dave, a very special guest in attendance today. Derrick Alston's dad, Derrick Alston Sr. He's the head coach of the Westchester Knicks in the NBA's G League. Has a rare weekend off because of the All-Star break, so he's here watching his son play in person for the first time in 4 years since Derrick was in high school. Alston Sr. told me he gave his son this advice today. When I say that I've been in your shoes, I mean I've literally been in your shoes. Big games, pressure, struggle games, playing through injury, dealing with expectations. I've done it all, so relax. I'm not going to judge you. And then Alston Jr. told me he usually doesn't get nervous, but still he knows that today's game, his energy will be extra high, and then he has to guard against it, trying too hard because his dad is here. And guys, I'd say based on his first bucket, I'd say he's thriving with his dad here in attendance. 6 points already for Alston Jr.
No question, Heather. Great to see the pictures, too. Year by year, those pictures with Derrick Alston Jr. getting taller and taller and eventually surpassing that. He's 6'9" now, 180 pounds, and one of the top players in the Mountain West. And you and I spoke with Derrick just before the game, and he said, I'm so excited my dad's here. This is a big moment for me. Wants to take down the undefeated Aztecs here today.
What I love about the Alstons, both of them, when we talked to him, he had a chance. In the first 2 years, he really redshirted 2 years. He played no minutes the first year, 27 the second. And so, as you see, beautiful drive in the lane by Flynn. But wow, a lot of those guys that don't play in their first 2 years decide to transfer. They believe in Leon Rice and this system. That's what's so great about Coach Rice. And really proud of his son for sticking it out.
Alston Jr. came in 148 pounds. He's at plus 40 pounds now. It's the good news. That last move we saw from Flynn, that was a pro move. That's an NBA one-on-one move, and there are scouts here today to watch him. Mitchell can't come through this time. Wetzel, hand on his foul in traffic. Look at this play.
Well, Coach Rice talked about this yesterday with us. He was saying that Malachi does a lot of what John Stockton did. And when Leon Rice was at Gonzaga in the summertime, Stockton would take 4 freshmen, and he would take them and play against the first team, and he would make them so good. That's what Flynn does, and that's what Coach Rice was talking about to us yesterday.
Leon Rice, longtime assistant coach to Mark Few at Gonzaga. Flynn, Shackle, deep corner 3, not this time. R.J. Williams, defensive glass for Boise State. I think Gonzaga's right up there. I mean, without question, one of the top 2 teams in the country.
You know, Gonzaga only lost 1 game to Michigan. Michigan was playing pretty solid early on. Team to watch, I think, out of the Atlantic 10. Dayton Flyers, Obi Toppin. Just a phenomenal player. Anthony Grant has done a great job since replacing Archie Miller for the UD Flyers.
That's a big-time story in the A-10. Here it's 11 for San Diego State. Trying to go 26-0. Foul on Mitchell a moment ago, his first. Jessup, 3-point threat at all times, 5 to shoot. Key jab, not this time, and Mitchell. There's the defensive glass for San Diego State. Does it all. 4th rebound on the first half. Loose change on his knees. Key jab, good hustle. Boise State. Alston Jr. transition 3. That's a deep 3-ball. He could do that for the Westchester Knicks in the G League one day, couldn't he? Right in front of Dad.
You got to give the credit, though, to Key Jab. The energy guy who has given this team so much in the last 5 games is able to get on the floor, get the loose ball, and start the fast break.
Look at the handles for Flynn. Mitchell in the corner. Aztecs the half-court set. Here's Flynn, lets loose from 3. You better believe it. His second triple, and that was from deep.
And you could see Ray J. Dennis just dropped his head. The freshman was in his face, did everything to stop it, and Flynn just lit it up way beyond the three-point line.
He's got a dozen in this first half. Weave, Alston, Jessup. Kicked into the corner, key jab. Fire miss. Strong rebound, stick back. Williams for 2. Brian Dutcher is not happy with a lack of a box out there from Matt Mitchell. He needs a timeout. Aztecs record start to their season, number 4 in the nation, and off to a great start again here. You said the big play by Abu Kijab, the Oregon transfer, got things going, didn't it?
He can do it all, but he's a very good defender and gets it out and finds the guy in transition. That's what Alston needs to do. He needs to get that confidence out there. And Malachi, you watch Ray J. Dennis is right up in his grill. Watch him drop his head. And this is a team, San Diego State, we've talked about it the whole day. It's balanced. You don't know who's going to pick up that shot, but the guy that leads them is Malachi Flynn.
16 straight games now in double figures for Flynn. He's got 12 here in the first half. In the last 9 games, entering play today, nearly 17 points a game. This is former All Pac-12 freshman team at Washington State. He's a good one. Kicks in the corner, Shackle, deep 3. It's all set up. Inbounds play, Shackle position, and he deposits that in for a triple.
A rope took it out of bounds, threw it to Flynn. It was set up for an easy jump shot. And Shackle was playing horse out there. Nobody extended on him.
That was nice. The timeout clearly paid off there for Brian Dutcher and San Diego State.
Well, you see a rope just throw it out there, a nice little Tom Brady-like pass. And then Shackle sitting in the corner. He was standing there waiting for that ball.
Aztecs have 6 threes, Wolfie, in the first half. 35 seconds and counting. 10 to shoot this Bronco possession. Alston Jr. with dad watching, 5 to shoot.
It's got to go up.
Over Wetzel, long range shot. Rebound, Flynn, foul on the positioning. And it's against Boise State this time.
Right now,
and Williams.
Boise State is not getting the ball into the paint at all. They're all perimeter. They've got to continue getting to the basket. Crowd does not like that call.
Neither does the whiteout-clad head coach Leon Rice. I mean, I love the look, the white belt. It's great.
He is one of the most fun guys to watch. We were with his dog yesterday, Stella. Stella was roaming the place. She had free reign.
2015 Mountain West Coach of the Year. 20-plus wins, 7 of 9 years for Leon Rice. Built a great tradition here at Boise State. Final moments, first half, 10 seconds up on the board. Shot clock turned off. Guess who's got the rock? This guy. Look at the handles. Here's Flynn. He floats up high, short this time. Wetzel, rebound, stick back. And Yanni Wetzel beats the first half buzzer. It's another hoop for San Diego State. There's more want to with those Aztecs, and they lead by 14 at the break.
Coach Dutcher said we got to go on. We want to go undefeated. We got to go into places like this to be able to continue being undefeated. And I'll tell you, we're doing a good job so far.
Back to Heather Cox.
Thanks so much. Joined by San Diego State assistant coach Chris Acker and coach, hostile territory, undefeated season on the line with so much at stake. How are you helping get these guys to play like they have nothing to lose?
Bottom line is we just prepare the same way. Every game we come out, we just focus on this game. This is the most important game of our season. So that's what we concentrate on, and these guys are unbelievable at taking that and running with it.
Chris, you did spend the previous 2 seasons here in Boise as Leon Rice's assistant coach. So what kind of insight have you been able to give your team today that helps them?
Well, just at the end of the day, this is a very good team we're playing against. They got really good players. We can't take any possession lightly, and we just got to come out and play at a high level. Our guys, we played against them before, so they got good familiarity with them. So we're just going to come out here and continue to try to insert our will.
Chris, thanks so much. Guys, back to you.
Heather, Coach, thanks. And the first half. Aztecs on the road, trying to go 26-0, lead by 14 after the break. We'll send you to Brent Stover and John Rothstein in New York with AT&T at the half. You're watching college basketball on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
CBS Sports presents AT&T at the half.
Welcome inside our New York studios alongside John Rothstein. I'm Brent Stover. San Diego State unbeaten, 25-0, leading by 14 on the road. What stood out most for you, John?
Remember I said pregame that Malachi Flynn was a second-team All-American? He is quickly rising after what he showed in the first half. Operating with the focus of a surgeon, Flynn has led San Diego State to 40 first-half points on the road. They are on pace for 80. Look at the numbers. He's like a Swiss Army knife touching the box score. This guy is so poised. It's like he could swim with great whites and not flinch.
12 points on 5 of 7 for him, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. As a team from long distance, 6 of 13 overall.
Yeah.
San Diego State shooting 59% in the opening 20, 14-point lead. Take a look at San Diego State's resume, currently on the one line, according to our bracket expert, Jerry Palm.
Well, and you look at the number 1 seeds for the NCAA tournament, everything is forecasted there according to Jerry Palm. But I think right now, you could make a legitimate case that if San Diego State is the number 1 seed in the East, and the East region, as we know, goes through Madison Square Garden, if Duke is the 2 seed in the East region, it might be more advantageous for San Diego State to be a 2 seed in the West and then potentially just have to go to Los Angeles to play Gonzaga to get to the Final Four. To me, that is a better situation than being a 1 seed but having to go cross country and play Duke on the other side of the bracket to get the chance to go to Atlanta.
So you're saying they need to lose once?
I'm not saying they need to lose once, but if Duke indeed is the 2 seed in the East region, Madison Square Garden for years has been known as Cameron Indoor Stadium North. Now, I know that both San Diego State and Duke would each have to win 3 NCAA tournament games to get to that point, but it's an easier path to the Final Four if San Diego State would have to go to Los Angeles to play Gonzaga than to be a 1 seed and go east to play Duke. If you're a 1 seed and the East Regional is at Madison Square Garden, it might be a 1 seed in name, but it's an advantage to the 2 if the 2 is Duke.
And we've seen that down through the years. That happens, the NCAA tournament, one of those quirks.
Thank you for watching AT&T at the half.
It's time for some baby racing here at Boise. I mean, how cute is that? They call it crawling for college. And there's your winner, that young man in the blue. Might be a little bummed out as Broncos are down 40-26. The number 4 San Diego State trying for the 26-0 start. Dave Ryan, Steve Wolfie joined by Heather Cox in a moment. And Wolfie, we spoke with Brian Dutcher, the Aztecs head coach this week. He said, look, we never want to get in the mentality that we're going to outscore teams 90-89. It's defense first, but when it comes to Malachi Flynn, he can play offense with anyone, anytime.
What's great about him is he doesn't need to have the ball in his hands. He has the ball in his hands, he's efficient. Off the ball, he may be even better because he gets in open areas and is able to knock down the 3-point jump shots, but he gets the ball out in transition and gets straight to the rim. He is very, very efficient in the half court, and he's really taken over this game. He's got 3 assists, he's got 12 points, and he's only 5 of 7 from the field. So Boise State's got to do something to stop him. On the other end, Justinian Jessup got started early, knocking down a 3-point jump shot, but Rhino, he's only has 5 attempts at the basket. He's got to get more shots at the basket. The 3-point jumper is fine, but I think they have to get out and get transition buckets to go along with those 3-point shots that they have from Jessup.
All right, Steve, let's break down our 5-hour energy first half stats. What do you see here with the numbers?
Well, I see there's a reason right now why the Aztecs have a 14-point lead. I mean, they're shooting incredible field goal percentage. I mean, they're getting any shot they want. And the other thing is that Boise is only had 2 assists. That's rare because they average around 12 a game, so they got to clean that up a little bit.
Let's go back to Heather.
All right, Dave, Leon Rice out of the locker room said you can tell by how few fouls we've drawn. We're not playing strong, not playing physical. All we're doing is playing catch and shoot on the perimeter, but we're not being physical and going through them. He also said, obviously, we've got to get to their 3-point shooters, play harder. And then, guys, as the team huddled before they took the floor, they got together and screamed, everything we got, let's finish.
2 fouls, Heather, first half. That's it for San Diego State. Amazing.
They're not even matching physicality in the lane. You see, the Aztecs are pretty darn good when they lead at halftime.
Also, wow, that's lights out. Short jumper, Ray J. Dennis. Mitchell trouble to handle on the bounce. And then Yanni Wetzel, not on the same page with KJ Fagan. That's turned right back over to Boise State.
Boise State was lucky because San Diego State had the numbers on there. You can see when San Diego, last 3 games, they turned it up in the second half. They are very, very good offensively and defensively too.
Another overplay steal. Mitchell, up he goes for the hammer. Matt Mitchell. And maybe too emphatic on the dunk. And we've got a technical call.
You see the nice defensive play. It wasn't a really good pass by R.J. Williams.
The chin up always does it. That's considered showboating, and that's a technical call on Mitchell. That is his 2nd foul, and Jessup will represent for Boise State.
And you don't need to do that. Mitchell's been playing outstanding, but there's nobody underneath him. The only reason why you're able to hold on the rim is if somebody's underneath you and impedes your fall, you may get hurt.
Jessup 53 of 56, 95% from the free throw line this year. I mean, he's automatic. Ray J. Dennis runs the show for Boise State here.
Boise State has got to get inside with the dribble or the pass. You know, the 2 assists is what really would concern me because they're not getting guys the basketball in near the basket. They have easy buckets.
Miscue baseline turnover.
I know it's cliche, but the first 4 minutes of the second half are very important. So far, Boise State has turned the ball over twice in the half court.
San Diego State 10-0 on the road. 12-0 if you include the neutral site game victories this year. Yanni Wetzel, kick out. Malachi Flynn, deep 3, short this time. Trying to track down the rebound, has the offensive glass. Ray J. Dennis, a hand on it. Out of bounds to Boise State.
The dribble drive, good help by Ray J. Dennis, getting a hand in there. We're going to have to really match the physicality of San Diego State. They have to take it back out. They're playing one of the elite teams in the country. Got to get in the basket. And that's
Alston Jr. Wow, unforced error.
Well, he needs to take that, Rhino. He's got to get straight into that defense.
Where is he going?
Well, what you do is you have to match it. You can split the traps. When you split a trap, they have to call the foul on the defense, but you cannot just allow them to play that pack-in defense in the lane. You've got to make sure you bring them to you so you can get other guys open.
7 turnovers and 3 in about 2 minutes of play.
They only 4 the whole first half.
Malachi Flynn with the right this time. Soars and scores, give him 14.
No resistance at the rim. You can't do that on the defensive end. This is a good Boise State team.
Key jab foul, and the Oregon transfer shoots here for Boise State.
Well, just like that, you know, Riley Abercrombie does not come over, or Dickinson does not come over to help. He goes under the pick instead of over top of it. You have to stay so close to Flynn because he's very good. Dickinson that time went underneath the pick.
Non-shooting foul. And inbounds play here. Baseline for the Broncos. Jessup's got to get more involved quickly. So does this guy. Alston Jr. had the ball. Tips. Still fed. Dickinson wing. Jessup. Good effort. And the hustler wants to for the offensive rebound, but he lost it to Yanni Wetzel.
Matt Mitchell will be on the court every time there's a ball anywhere near him. He is a junkyard dog, and he just really getting all the 50-50 balls.
Reach. Alston Jr. commits the foul. First foul of Derrick Alston Jr., candidate for the Julius Erving Award for the nation's top forward. A terrific year, Leon Rice told us yesterday. Alston Jr. has had. He does go in long stretches, though, where he disappears offensively. Shackle free, set play off the curl, buries it.
He was definitely shackle free. Took it straight into for the mid-range jump shot. But right now, that last jump shot that Alston had, he resisted and just took the jump shot instead of trying to take it into the paint and draw contact.
Largest lead of the day here, Steve Wolf. It's all San Diego State on the road, trying to keep perfection going. Aztecs won 26-0 today at Boise State. College basketball on CBS Sports Network is presented by 5 Hour Energy. Back in 17-18 rookie season for Brian Dutcher, taking over for his longtime mentor, head coach at San Diego State, Steve Fisher. 5 seed, won all 3 games. He was the only coach, first-year head coach, to take his team to the NCAA tournament that season in 17-18. And in the tournament, Aztecs knocked off the top seed Nevada in the semifinals. New Mexico title game, down 63-57, 7.5 to play. Senior captain guard Trey Kell hit clutch baskets down the stretch, led all scorers with 28. Celebration time that year for San Diego State. Don't have to worry about stealing a bid this year, Wolfie. These guys are in. The mock brackets came out recently on CBS, #1 seed in the East.
Yeah, and well-deserving. I mean, I think they're only going to move up the way they're playing basketball. You know, we have hungry for a bid. Back then it was, you know, stealing a bid. Able to get one out.
No theft required this year, that's for sure. These guys are really good.
Coach Dutcher's been on the sideline with Coach Fisher for every one of his wins. It's nice to see him doing a great job coaching on his own.
Third 3 of the day for Jessup. Back to Heather.
All right, guys, some great stuff out of Coach Dutcher in the timeout. He told his team to stay mature, keep communicating, and keep switching. Then said, guys, don't play the score. We know this Bronco team is capable of a comeback. We saw them do it against Utah State. They were down by 18-1. Don't change your character now.
Exactly the case a couple of years ago in San Diego. They were playing Boise State. Boise State was down by 9 with a minute to play. And Boise State, Leon Rice came back and won that game. So this is a team that, on their home floor, they can get combustible very quickly.
Rare miss from 3 for Malachi Flynn. Take away Mitchell again. He does everything so well for these Aztecs.
He is playing with so much confidence, Rhino. This isn't the same guy that I saw a couple years ago. Just very strong.
Abu Kijab picks up the foul.
Mitchell's got quick hands. He's out with 25 pounds that he lost. The quickness that he has gained. May not be fast, but he is very quick. His hands very active on the defensive end. This is a San Diego team, San Diego State team that is playing in the gaps. They're doing a great job. Anytime somebody drives, they have guys helping out.
Second in the Mountain West, free throw shooting entering play today. Sam Merrill, Utah State has the current lead in that category. Matty Wetzel up high, undercut Williams. Leads us to a timeout in Boise, Idaho. It is all Aztecs yet again on the road against the Broncos. Nothing like it. Boise, Idaho, Table Rock. It is a sight you don't want to miss. 107 Eastern, college hoops action heads out to Worcester, Massachusetts. Bucknell battles Holy Cross. Patriot League action right here on CBS Sports Network. Crusaders and the Bison. Coming up, prior 4 Patriot League tournament champs. Raiders won last year. You know, I've called a couple games Patriot League tournament. Nothing like that home court feel for those tournament games.
Right now, this is a perfect time for Leon Rice and his Broncos to make some hay. They knock down a 3. They have to get inside somehow, but they have to have stops on the defensive end. Can't allow Flynn to take over this game as he's done so far.
Nation's only unbeaten team, putting the record to the test again. KJ Fagan into the corner, Shackle. Misfires deep 3, and the rebound for Alex Hobbs.
I'd like to see him get the ball into George at least once this possession to try to shrink that defense a little bit.
True senior from Berlin, Germany is in. Robert George. Dickinson, 10 to shoot. Alston Jr., entry pass over Mitchell, baseline, no roll, hustle, down low. And George has 2.
That's a 1-2 play by George. He was at the top of the key. He actually made the entrance pass in to Alston and then fouled the shot. Alston has to make that and drive the ball through contact.
And the packed house here in Boise, the whiteout gets involved again. Hoping to get their Broncos back in this one. 10 to shoot for Flynn. Here's Malachi Flynn with a quickness. Baseline, tough pass, tough catch. Mitchell, he is fouled.
Well, you see, the ball goes in to Alston. You see George just come down unguarded and gets that offensive rebound and puts it back in. I just think it's important to get some easy buckets, and George is a bigger body than R.J. Williams. And I think that getting him some touches can make it a little bit difficult for guys like Wetzel on the low block and also Matt Mitchell.
Talking about Mitchell's prowess for the free throw line. Great crowd, the whiteout here today in Boise. Leon Rice told us yesterday he was hoping this huge crowd would make a big difference when it comes to trying to knock off 25-0 San Diego State. Mitchell perfects. 14 fouls second half for the Broncos.
It's really hard. It's going to be really hard for anybody in the conference. You know, they go to Nevada that's undefeated at home in the Mountain West, but it's going to be hard to beat this team as balanced as they are and as good as they play on the defensive end.
Foul, Boise State off the ball.
Like Derrick Alston getting a little frustrated on the offensive end.
His second, Wolfie.
Well, that's 5 calls in a row for San Diego.
That's what the fan behind me thought. Anyway, he's definitely biased, though. No question. 5 free throws in our game taken. That's all. Wetzel, tough pass to catch in traffic. Great kick-out pass. Missed 3, Pulliam. Long weak side rebound, Alston Jr. Spin, lost it. Wetzel, great hands. Flynn as well. Back to Wetzel. Up, and away. Yanni Wetzel, the hammer slam.
But you know what? Everything started on the defensive end. As Heather said, defense travels. As Coach Dutcher says, defense travels. That's what they're doing. They're getting easy buckets out of their defense.
Look at the hands for Mitchell. Almost took that one away again. That was a big theme in our discussion with Brian Dutcher this week. We're still a great defensive team. Don't forget about that. Here's Hobbs. Tough shot. Contested jumper. Rebound Flynn.
Half-court defense for the Aztecs has been unpenetrable. It's very hard to get in there. They're in every gap. I'll tell you, when they play defense, they're really good.
Alston Jr. is so frustrated, he headbutted the stanchion there.
Well, you'll watch right here. Alston's going to try to drive over here, but they're going to have weak side help. They get so into the gaps, and you'll see Flynn comes over and just picks the pocket, and then they're off to the races. That's the defensive prowess at San Diego State. They've always had that. It's just now they have an elite offense to go with it.
Third foul, Alston Jr. Look at the takeaway again, leading to the easy run out and flush for Wetzel. Native of New Zealand, transfer from Vanderbilt. And St. Mary's College of Texas, a Division II program. He's well traveled, third stop, but he has found a home in SoCal for the Aztecs. Kick out, Alston Jr. First offensive foul called. The defense gets it done again. Adam Seiko draws the charge.
He took the whole charge. Knocked him down pretty good, but you looked over there and you wondered who was taking that offensive foul. Was it Mitchell or Seiko? Because they both do a very good job of getting in the gaps and standing their ground.
Jessup second. We cover a lot of Buffalo basketball in the Mid-American Conference. They've got the hustle stats, the blue-collar numbers, deflections, charges drawn, dives on the floor. I mean, San Diego State would lead the Mountain West in that category, wouldn't they?
They play hard. That's the other thing. They do play very hard on both ends.
Here's Rice, coach's son. Trying to get something going here. Reach foul call. Back to Heather.
All right, guys, this is the first time that Max Rice has ever played for his dad, Leon. Leon never coached him in Y-ball or at AAU. Max told me that playing for his dad has been everything he hoped it would be and more. It's funny, guys. Leon calls Max 12 anytime they're in the gym, and Max calls him Leon, not dad, not coach. And they said the greatest compliment to this father-son duo is that teammates tell them that they forget that Max is actually Leon's son. Now, Steve, I know you've coached your kids. You were coached by your dad. In your opinion, just how tricky is it?
Well, I think it's really tricky, and especially in college. Hopefully you're mature a little bit more than you are in high school and grade school. But as Coach Leon said yesterday, he said, Steve, my older son Brock was a guy who was capable of getting 40 in a game. He would have been a little tricky in this situation. Max, who was a great high school player, has just fit into the role so well. And Coach Rice is ecstatic about spending time with his son.
Everything but go down for Malachi Flynn. Deep three. Jessup think another three ball short this time. George keeps it alive. And a fresh 20 for Boise State. There's the coach's son, Max Rice for three. Flynn for Polium, who pulls up and can't cash in. Front iron miss. George the rebound. 6-0 run for the Broncos, trying to expand on that and blow the roof off this place. Here's Rice. Not this time. Weak side rebound. Jessup. Stick back for two.
The Dutch is going to have to get a timeout because you do not want this crowd taking over this game. There's new life right now in the Broncos, and they're bucking. Boise State, daddy's boy, knocking down the three ball. Max Rice. And then the rebound by the three-point leader in the Mountain West. Jessup gets him within 10.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is presented by 5 Hour Energy. It's a run here, Steve Wolf, of 8-zip for Boise State, and they're right back in this tilt with number 4 San Diego State.
Well, I'll tell you, R.J. Williams went out with a foul, and Leon Rice put in Robin George. He has been really physical on defense, and then physical on the offensive end has given them a lift. It hasn't been Derrick Alston. It's been Max Rice, Jessup, and George.
Off the timeout. George right on cue. Off the mitts from KJ Fagan. And Boise State can cut it to single digits here. Jessup. It's a two. Justinian Jessup is lighting up San Diego State. He's got 19 today.
It's going to be important right now for San Diego State to match the intensity. I would like to see him put away the three ball and get to the basket. You have to either get to the free throw line or get in the painted area and get a layup.
Wetzel a miss. Rice the rebound. Fagan takes it away. Lead Shekel. Who lays it in?
That's an unfortunate turnover that led to basically a pick six. That quiets the crowd a little bit, but now the Broncos have to go back to the bread and butter. They have to be physical and try to get open shots for Jessup, but take the ball to the basket.
Hobbs watched by Mitchell. Max Rice, the redshirt freshman. Dangerous from three. Hobbs almost walks, floats in, can't get a roll, rolls off the front iron somehow. Shackle the rebound. Here's Flynn.
They'll spread out the defenses. This is a perfect area for Flynn to go to work, get to the basket, or give and go.
Overplay. Hobbs, steal back for Dickinson.
That was a great defensive play. Off the ball play by Hobbs.
Read that. Good film study. Tremendous work defensively. Jessup feels his way through the defense. George, two-man game, is fouled.
We'll see great defense from the weak side. Hobbs coming over. And that wasn't a great pass. And then here's the pick and roll. No way, the big fella, George, making an impact in the lane.
The senior Vandy transfer, Johnny Wetzel out for now. He's got 10 today and double figures in 11 of his last 12. Timeout. Trouble on the inbounds play for Boise State. And we'll take a quick timeout from Extra Mile Arena on the Boise State campus. Aztecs double digits still, trying to go 26-0. The lead on Boise State tonight, 8:30 Eastern. Our season-long coverage of PBR continues from Arlington, Texas. Don't miss the WinStar World Casino and Resort PBR Global Cup USA only on CBS Sports Network.
R.J. Williams back in the game for Boise State, replacing George. I thought George did a great job of getting some inside presence to see if Williams could use his quickness. He's undersized. Get him the ball in the low block. Let him go to work.
There's Williams. Nolan Moraine is into the game for the first time for San Diego State. The lefty Hanks can't hit. Rebound Flynn amongst the trees in traffic. That is a strong work on the defensive glass. Fagan drives the basket for two. KJ Fagan, the grad transfer from Santa Clara.
Nobody's stepping up. You have to step up. That's a huge differential. 14-point difference in the paint.
Jessup tries to go to work.
We're back into Williams. Williams had an easy bucket. Didn't get a free throw and didn't get it to go. You see Hobbs.
Good take. He'll shoot free throws when we return.
Now, beautiful defense in here, but it's a missed shot by R.J. Williams. And then finish in the lane by Fagan. We have a basketball game here in Boise, Idaho.
Aztecs, the fourth team this century, Steve Wolf, to clinch a regular season title in a conference. 4 games left regular season. Last time it happened, a guy named Steph Curry, 2008. Davidson for Coach McKillop. When Davidson played in the SoCon, Southern Conference. Hobbs, another free throw here. It's a rarity to clinch this early, and as Coach Dutcher told us, it was so critical. Get that out of the way. Put that banner up as Mountain West regular season champs. It's done now.
They have one of their best players still on the bench there. Mensah is a guy that's got a 7'4" wingspan who's out with a respiratory issue. Defensively, he is a game changer. So if they can get him back for the Mountain West tournament, the NCAA tournament, I mean, this team can go very far. I mean, they're doing great without him, but it'd be nice to have another defensive guy in there.
Nathan Mensah is here, working out with the team, getting better, getting closer to returning. What a move by Shackle. Off the glass and in. Give Jordan Shackle 12 today. Back to Heather.
Well, you guys talk about how much better this team could be with Mensah returning. A little bit of the history. On December 28th, he asked out of a game complaining of shortness of breath. As you mentioned, he's had ongoing respiratory issues since then. For a while there, he wasn't practicing, wasn't traveling, but the good news is he has rejoined practices. Is doing everything except contact. That's the big key. He can't go any body-to-body contact. He's doing conditioning and no contact drills. They are hopeful that they'll get him back in March in time for the NCAA tournament. We certainly wish him a speedy recovery.
Here today watching. Heather, thanks for that. Getting closer. That's what the coaching staff told us today before the game. He's missed the last 12 games for San Diego State. 6'10", sophomore from Ghana, Africa. And a good one for the Aztecs. Fagan. Foul call. Nolan Moraine, the senior from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, working in the low post.
I don't know. Hey, I'm not a referee. I think you're doing a good job, but that was a very suspect call on Max Rice.
Didn't call it on Rice. Called it on Williams on the recheck.
Oh, because I was going to say.
No call on the block charge there with Max Rice. And Lorraine has one more free throw here. And that's the first 10 games of the season. Lorraine, the only senior, 4-year senior on the Aztec roster. A lot of transfers we talked about. Johnny Wetzel, a senior, the transfer from Vanderbilt. Lorraine out for now, and Wetzel returns.
I like this. They're putting George back in to play against Wetzel down on the low block. But you can't have an empty possession like Boise State had last time down the court. They dribbled too much. Dickinson's got to get them into their offense a lot sooner and try to penetrate, whether through a pass or drive, inside.
Alston Jr. has been really quiet, partner.
He
in this game today.
You're playing great defensive team. It's tough.
Jessup, step back three. Too strong from deep. And Mitchell, a long defensive rebound. Points in the paint, 30 to 14 now. San Diego State dominant inside. Wetzel off the glass, no roll this time. And Jessup the rebound.
George pushed him outside. Didn't allow him to go to the basket. That's good defense by Robin George. You know, what Alston has to work on in the offseason, obviously got to gain some more weight, but he's got to be able to go through contact inside because he is not getting to the rim and he's not getting the and-one type of play at the basket.
9 points, 4 of 10 shooting. 1 of 3 from 3 so far for Alston Jr. His dad in the stands. Heather told us that story. Great pictures of Derrick growing up. Senior watching for the first time since Derrick was in high school. It's amazing. The G League head coach, Westchester Knicks, NBA All-Star break, so he's free. Alston Jr. had it knocked free. Great collapsing defense again, down low by San Diego State.
Well, everybody is shading towards him, too. This is a different thing for Derrick Alston because he has not scored in the second half, basically because they are overplaying, looking and stopping in the gaps, so it's hard for him to get easy shots. He is now a target. Last year he wasn't a target. He is now.
Flynn's been quiet too after the break, but still Aztecs enjoying the double-digit lead. Alston Jr. thought he was fouled, didn't get a call. Doesn't like it. Knocked out of bounds. 20 to shoot.
That's what he's got. You're talking to the scouts. What does he have to do? He has to get to the bucket and be able to deliver at the rim. In a lot of his shots, when he meets contact, he has a step away. He's 6'9", Rhino. He's a big guy, very slender, but this is a guy that definitely can play at the next level in the NBA. He's just got to keep developing.
Right on cue, Alston Jr. hits a long three. Set up well in the half court. And they found him for his second triple of the game. We're back to a 10-point contest between the Aztecs and Broncos. Alston's first points of half number 2.
Right now, it's a 4-minute war. You have to play good defense and get a stop here and then run good offense the other end. You got a lot of time, only down 10.
Flynn, perfect from 3.
Can't let that happen. You have to make sure you know where he is. He is the most important player on the court for San Diego State. You got to find him.
17 points and 3 threes now for Malachi Flynn, the Washington State transfer from the Pac-12. Look at his career stats. All the big numbers came when he played at Wazoo. But what a first season the preseason newcomer of the year in the Mountain West has had.
Well, this is a good dribble by Hobbs. And Wetzel comes over and is late to getting to the shot. Here's a pass back out, inside out. You cannot give that much help. Give the 2, but don't give the 3. George, get the ball to George. George has been a pretty good passer.
Flynn, overplay, steal, and the layup.
That time, George thought Hobbs was going one way. Hobbs thought George was going the other way. And Flynn read that and just picked his pocket.
Leader in the Mountain West, assists per game, steals per game. Brilliant season for Malachi Flynn. 16.5 points at outing. 19 today. Alston Jr. lets fly from 3. Not this time. Deep corner 3. And a rebound for Yanni Wetzel.
Well, as many minutes as Malachi Flynn plays, you know, his assists, his rebounds, his points, He's got a 3.5 to 1 assist to turnover ratio. I mean, that just tells you he's taking care of the basketball and running this team.
ISO here, 10 seconds to shoot. Flynn, two-man game on the high post pick from Wetzel. Free, Fagan buries it. KJ Fagan's second three ball, that was deep. And how about the half-court perfection for San Diego State?
Now, a lot of guys in Flynn's role would try to dribble it around and then take it to the basket. He gave it up to Fagan for the shot from the top of the key.
Alston Jr. needs a bailout pass. Gets it from Jessup. 10 to shoot. Double team. Deep corner needs help here. Pays off. The steal. Wetzel to take for 2.
That is just great defense. Half-court defense. The best defensive team in the Mountain West. One of the top 10 defensive teams in the country. Just doing a great job trapping in the lane and cutting out the skip pass.
Response, Jessup. 5 threes in the game for Jessup now. Try to keep his Broncos in the discussion, but it's 17.
Yeah, you have to get stops, and you cannot, when you're in this situation down 10 with 4 minutes to play, you cannot allow open three-point jump shots. And this is a team that is so well balanced in San Diego State that they're going to get the open guy the shot, and that's what they've done so far in this last 4.5.
Look at that pass. Fagan, Wetzel. Again, the half-court offense for years, San Diego State. The defense always the calling card with either Steve Fisher or Brian Dutcher's team. Deep three, miss Hobbs, rebound Wetzel again, and no reason to hurry here for San Diego State. This is a balanced team. There's a big reason, Wolfie, these guys are trying to go 26-0 today.
Well, they're up by 19 against an NCAA team in Boise State. What I like about it, if you're a San Diego State fan, is that you took the shot. They got hit in the face. It was an 8-point lead with 4.5, and you responded. Were able to raise the lead. Now up over 20.
Wow. Malachi Flynn, 4-3. Did you see the way the ball went through the basket? How soft that touch is from deep. I'm telling you, Wolfie, my first time seeing it in person, I'm impressed. Now whistle, it's out of bounds. This guy's a pro for sure. He is a pro for sure. Wow.
He's the guy that they got the ball in his hands. Great defense. Gets an easy pick. And my partner's favorite shot. Beautiful three.
Watch the
long
net.
Range.
Watch the net.
Flynn.
Oh.
Didn't move.
Sweet.
Sports Network is sponsored by Golden Corral, the only one for everyone.
2,753 feet here in Boise, Idaho, and a big lead for San Diego State. Play of the game, Steve Wolf, brought to you by Roman. First half, this was unforgettable. The crossover, the finish by Malachi Flynn.
Well, what's so important about it is he was going left, shot it right off the wrong foot. You know, it was a Euro move, and it's a hard move to make, especially against arguably one of the better defenders for Boise State and R.J. Williams. I mean, this is a kid that has upped his game. We've said it many times. Coach Dutcher knew he was a good offensive player, and he could score. He just didn't realize what a good facilitator he was.
Rice, too strong from three. Wetzel handle the rebound, but Williams cleans up. Second field goal of the game for R.J. Williams, coming off that 16-point, 12-rebound effort here Tuesday in the win over Air Force. Not nearly as big a factor against San Diego State here today.
And R.J. Williams is a guy they need to play. He has to play well in the conference tournament to finish out this season. He's a guy that can really give you unplanned production. You know, takes the offensive foul, gets the offensive rebound, makes layups around the basket. Air Force, he had 16 points on 6 field goals. So he is a guy who's very efficient. Wasn't able to get it done today.
Over play, final moments. Ray J. Dennis, first bucket of the day for the freshman. Out of Oswego, Illinois, near Chicago. But the bottom line is, on the road, Shackle the catch, no reason to take the shot. It's going to be another double-digit victory for San Diego State. And perfection continues. Yes, the Aztecs win again. 26-0 for the already regular season champion Aztecs of the Mountain West. Another impressive outing. And yes, one step closer to running the table on the 2019-2020 season. Brian Dutcher told us, Wolfie, this week, let's be greedy. Why not? Let's just do this now that we have a regular season championship. And now they're one step closer to that.
I like that he took it head on. I mean, it's impressive because you're looking at, Boise State beating him at home like the way they did. But and Boise State was playing for something. I mean, they have an opportunity to come in second in the league. Utah State with Sam Merrill, one of the better teams in the country. But San Diego State is the real deal. Fun to watch them play.
The nation's only unbeaten team has UNLV on CBS Sports Network. Colorado State also on our air coming up on February 22nd and 25th at Nevada in Reno on the leap year 29th to wrap up the regular season. 3 games to go. Try to become the first team since Gonzaga was perfect in the regular season. Went to the national championship game. Heather standing by with Malachi Flynn.
Thank you so much. A perfect 26-0 now, Malachi. And I know after clinching the Mountain West title on Tuesday, there was a lot of talk about avoiding complacency, especially here in this hostile environment. How'd you guys get it done?
That's just who we are. We knew it was going to be tough on the road. I think this team enjoys coming on the road and playing together. We can never get complacent. That's just who we are.
Definitely shows that you guys have a lot of fun out here. You are now 25 of 26 games. You've scored in double digits. How important is it for you to just carry the load for this team?
I think we have a lot of pieces on this team. I'm one of many. I just try to do my part, but this team has a lot of pieces, and we put it together, and we're really good.
You speak about all those pieces. I was very impressed with the balance and depth that you guys showed here today. How much easier is it for you when you know you can distribute and anybody's going to get it done?
Yeah, it's a lot easier. We got a lot of guys that can make shots on this team. Everybody played great. We got a good big. So we got a lot of different options, and anybody can get rolling any given night. Congratulations
on the win. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, guys, back to you.
Heather, Malachi, thank you. 26-0. Only 2 games in the 26 have been by single digits. Aztecs have just been rolling over the competition all year. Now for Steve Wolf and Heather Cox, the entire CBS Sports Network group. Dave Ryan saying so long from Boise, Idaho. It's been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Now, sending back to Brent Stover and John Rothstein in our New York studio. Guys, San Diego State does it again, 26-0.